Does it not feel like football season here with the band and the cheerleaders? I'm going to put a little pressure on you. 13 days from today, our home opener. How many of you have tickets for that game? Thank you. On behalf of the University of Houston and our Department of Athletics, welcome to TDECU Stadium on this beautiful Sunday afternoon with the smell of football in the air. This is indeed a very special occasion for our football program as we officially dedicate Legends Plaza at TDECU Stadium. Legends Plaza, as its name would indicate, is a way to recognize and pay tribute to the very rich history of football at the University of Houston. A history that includes 406 total wins, 23 bowl games, 10, and we're working on 11 conference championships, 3 College Football Hall of Fame members, and a Heisman Trophy winner. A very rich tradition that is now honored with statues and display panels here at the Plaza at Gate 1 at TDECU Stadium. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the people that made this vision for the Legends Plaza a reality. First, Mike and Becky Simo for their unwavering support of University of Houston athletics and for their vision for the Legends Plaza. Bruce Williams and Linda Davis for their donation of the bronze of Coach Yeoman. And the artist of this piece, Mick Dollinger. Michael Guidry and the University of Houston Art Committee for providing 3 of the 5 history display panels. The family of Bill Yeoman, along with Don and Gwen Mullins, for the donation of the additional 2 panels here at the Legends Plaza. Andrew Verana and Joe Mepelink with MetaLab, who were the architects that designed the panels. Keith Jennings, who fabricated the panels. And finally, the Brazina family for donating the Cougar Bronze. It's indeed hard to talk about the history of Houston football without including the Brazina family. The matriarch of this family was Gertrude or Gertie Brazina, who following the death of her husband at a very young age, raised 8 children on her own. 6 of those, the Brazina boys as they became to be known by Houston football fans, Bob, Gus, Bernie, Greg, Mark, and Steve, all received scholarships to play football here at the University of Houston, and are the only family to have 6 siblings play football at the major college level. Again, hard to talk about UH football history without mentioning the Brazina boys. Could you join me one more time in thanking each of these individuals and families for making this vision a reality? Now it is my pleasure to introduce the man who is just starting to develop his own history as it pertains to University of Houston football. And even though he's yet to coach a game, he's already had a dynamic impact on our program, this campus, and the entire Houston community. Please join me in welcoming the 15th head coach in the history of University of Houston football, Coach Tom Herman.
It is with great honor and privilege that I stand here before you today. Let's give another warm round of applause to our Director of Athletics, Hunter Yurichek. Hunter was very instrumental in the fundraising and building of this great stadium, TDECU Stadium, as well as the Bill Yeoman Legends Plaza. And I stand up here before you very humbled to be the head football coach at the University of Houston. And the reason that I'm humbled is because of the rich long history and tradition of great football and great athletics here at this great university. And I can only hope that one day we will look on this era of Houston football that the way that we look at the Bill Yeoman era of Houston football. As Hunter alluded to, we've had, in our rich history, we've had 171 NFL draft picks. We have had over 300 all-conference members. We've had over 100 and something All-Americans. We've got 3 college football Hall of Famers, and the list goes on and on and on the history and tradition, proud history and tradition of Cougar football. And I wanted to say something real quick, and I'll get on with the program, but when I got here in January, one of the very first people to greet me was Coach Bill Yeoman. And Coach sat in my office, which had furniture that at that time kind of made me think that it was his office at one time. But I know that it wasn't, and I do appreciate the upgrade in furniture. But he sat in the office, and all we did was talk. And we didn't talk X's and O's, although we could have with the founder and creator and inventor of the veer option. Okay, we could have talked about X's and O's. We could have talked about the city of Houston. We could have talked about the university. But the one thing we wanted to talk, or one thing that he wanted to talk about, that we talked about at length, was young men. And how impactful a coach's life can be on young men. And how the young men that he coached, to this day, he considers family. He considers sons. And I've had the chance to go to different outings and presentations with Coach Yeoman, and there isn't a former player that doesn't come up to him, hug him, and say thank you to this day for the impact that he had on their lives. And again, I look to him. He is an unbelievable role model, an unbelievable family man. He was able to balance the pressures and stress and time commitments needed to build a championship level football team, with also being one of the world's best husbands, fathers, and mentors to many young people along the way. And so when I look to role models, when I look to people that I want to be like, when I look to programs that I want us to aspire to be like, I just have to look down the hall, because we've got one. And we've got one in one of the greatest college coaches of all time, and that's Bill Yeoman. And I do encourage you, before I bring Coach Yeoman up, and Bruce and Linda, I do want to encourage you again. I know you probably wouldn't be here today if you didn't have tickets to our games. Okay, that's not the challenge. The challenge is not to get you guys to come to our games. The challenge is for you guys to bring 4, 5, 8, 10, however many friends, families, co-workers you can, and fill that stadium every single week. Because I will tell you this, we gave our team, today is the last day before classes start tomorrow, really the last day of training camp for the 2015 season. And we gave our players certificates recognizing them for the completion of the hardest training camp in all of college football, which they did these past 2.5 weeks. And so I tell you that not because I want to brag about how hard our training camp is. I tell you that because you should know the blood, sweat, tears, time, effort, energy, you name it, that our players have put into this university and into this program. And it would be a shame for them to roll out there any Saturday, any Thursday, any time during the football season and see one seat empty. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to them and the hard work that they've dedicated to this program. So I challenge you, diehard fans of the University of Houston football, bring people, spread the word, spread the gospel. We're doing a great job. Our sports information staff, my staff of coaches, our players are doing a great job of representing the red and white throughout the city of Houston and the state of Texas. And we want to make sure that the fruits of that labor are enjoyed throughout this fall. So without further ado, I do want to bring up the man of the hour, Coach Bill Yeoman, and Bruce Williams and Linda Davis.
Our players know I know what to do with this damn thing, but I'm not sure I do. People, I'll tell you, nobody's had more fun in his life than I have, and it's because I was here at the University of Houston. I'm serious. Got great people, had great leaders, great players. What it was, a lot of people didn't think they were great players until they played us, and they found out it's that way. I just could not express the appreciation I have for the opportunity to coach at the University of Houston, and the appreciation of the kids who played here, the effort that they gave. And also, seriously, the fans. People, whether you like it or not, you're the cause of just about everything. If you don't have the fans enthusiastic and after and trying to help, you're not going to get it done. But you guys were that way, and, well, we got it done halfway anyway. We had a good time. But the kids we had, I'm telling you, were committed. The coaches that we had were committed. And now then what we've got to do is get a serious amount of fans committed. We do that and we're in real good shape, people. And then the University of Texas and these people that run from us won't have a chance. They'll have to play us.
Yeah!
And they found out that's not much fun. No, in all seriousness, people, no one could have had a better time going through this world than I've had. It's just, the kids were great, the coaches were great, the administration was great. Shoot, if you've got stuff like that, you got a chance. And we had. So what we got to do, and I'll tell you now, this young man who's taken over is no beginner. If you've been at Ohio State, you've been in the Big Ten, you've damn well been where they play football. So I'm telling you right now, what we got to do is whatever he wants in the way of support, help, crowd, anything, we got to get it done, gang. Because we got to make sure that our dear friends in this state don't forget about the University of Houston, and they may one day even work up the courage to play us again. But seriously, I can tell it's hot out here. Now, if you were a football team, I wouldn't care. But I mean, you're not. So I'm going to shut my mouth and get this thing over with and let you go get in some shape. But I don't care. Nobody in this world had more fun at his job than I had. Nobody. And we were blessed. I was blessed with great people helping. Golly, Ned Elmer Red and Billy Willingham and Don Todd. These were superhuman beings, people, because they spent more time on the road than Carter has little liver pills.
You got it.
Thank you,
They
Coach.
were something else. So anyway, it has been a total delight. Nobody can have more fun than I've had. And I'll tell you, this youngster that you've hired now will get it done too, but he's got to have help. People have got to be in the stands. I'm sorry, it's just that way. Kids who are out there on the field get a lot more enthused if there's someone in the stands yelling at them.
Hey, I'm going to see the statue.
Oh, we want that?
Yeah.
Bless your hearts. Okay, close your eyes so it won't offend you.
I got to believe that.